We all know the power of color to affect the way we respond, feel, and perceive our environment. Yet color does not exist outside of our perception. It needs our eyes and our brain to decode what it sees. Light waves are colorless until they hit our retina. But once our photoreceptors are activated, they move into the realm of association, and our brain can name them. For example, yellow. Let's start by exploring a bit of color theory history. In 1665, Sir Isaac Newton discovered that by passing sunlight through a prism, it split into 7 visible hues or colors. He named these hues red, orange, yellow, green, blue, indigo, and violet, and organized them into a color wheel, an essential tool we use in design to help us understand the relationship between colors. Now, let's look at the differences between primary, secondary, and tertiary colors. Primary colors are the most pure form of a color and cannot be obtained by mixing. These are yellow, red, and blue. We used primary colors, red and blue, in our designs for the ACTRAC project, a journal that helps people track the issues they support in order to express the energy, impact, and boldness of meaningful action. Secondary colors are a result of mixing together 2 primary colors with each other in equal amounts. These are orange, green, and violet. For our client's Modrex identity, we used secondary colors to express both vibrancy and an unexpected uniqueness. Tertiary colors are found in between the primary and the secondary hues on the color wheel and are the result of a combination of any 2 primary and secondary colors. These include red, orange, yellow-green, blue-green, blue-violet, and red-violet. Our identity for the playlist uses color as musicality itself, building emotional narratives through the movement of color. This palette has the blue as a dominant primary, connecting the colors in a more cohesive way. Endless combinations of color exist. In order to understand the basic principles that guide it, let's define what hue, saturation, and value mean. These are 3 main attributes of color that will allow us to talk about it in more depth. A hue is a specific color found in the color spectrum. The word hue also means color, and both can be used interchangeably. To launch our new typography Ciudad, we applied the color blue and a tint of that same hue in all materials. On the other hand, saturation is the intensity of a color or the relative purity of it, as it differentiates from a gray. Let's go one step further with our Ciudad project. Look at the letters and notice how the saturated hues have no white or black. Value refers to the degree of lightness or darkness of a color in relation to a white and a black scale. The value of a color depends on how much light a color reflects. Value can be used to communicate depth, texture, and define shapes and edges of a form. The larger the difference in value, the more contrast we can create. We normally refer to color values as shades or tints. Shades are darker in value as we add black. Tints are lighter in value as we add white. You'll notice how choosing colors in a similar value of the spectrum will help balance a color palette, while choosing very contrasting colors will differentiate their unique characteristics, making them very distinct from one another and expressing more energy or boldness in a design. Color theory is an expansive subject. However, it is our own intuition that has to be an active participant in the creative process and choice of colors. Use the exercise file to put into practice what we have learned about color theory. Try applying primary, secondary, and tertiary colors, playing with the principles of value and saturation we explored. Pay special attention to legibility and how color is balanced with each other. Color is an expression from within. It needs to be both understood and felt.